I'm going to Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So let's find our seat and let's get comfortable. So again, if you have short of stature like me with my legs, you might want to sit on something and get your legs comfortable. Just adjust that camera and let's come in and sit in a comfortable seat and we're going to start to come into our practice today with awareness of our sense of our ears today. So I want you to allow yourself to hear outward, even outside of the room that you're in. And maybe you can hear traffic outside, depends on where you are. Maybe you can hear someone in the house. Maybe you could, if you have the doors open because you're where you are. If you hear birds, I want you to just let your awareness of your ears and your hearing be outward for a few moments, just noticing. And then start to draw your awareness into the room that you're in now and notice if there's any sounds in the room that you're in, besides my voice, but notice if there's any sounds. And now come closer and come right onto your chair and start to notice if your breath is making any noise. If there's a quietness around your body. And then just kind of starting to notice how that quiet feels in your body of your hearing. And then from there, let's drop the awareness of breath down to the abdomen. Let our awareness come down into the belly. And if you can this morning, let your belly be soft. Let it really go. I know it might feel uncomfortable, so if it does, please don't do it. But if it's okay, let it be soft. Let your belly just soften. And notice how that resistance might be there for letting the belly soften. And then let's start to be aware of our breath. Let's start to focus this morning on maybe counting your inhales and then counting your exhales and seeing if they're the same. So there's this word in yoga, which is sama, which means same. And then this idea of same breath. So as you inhale and exhale, the idea is to see if there's a rhythm to that breathing. So the breath practice of this is called samavriti, and it's just sameness breath. And if it's not the same, what we don't want to do is force it, because maybe that's not where your breath practice is today. Just have an awareness. So if you're counting 4 inhales or 5 inhales, is your exhale about the same? Just check it out. Being curious. We always like to use our curiosity in our practice. And then let's switch our focus from that breath and we'll start our practice, but we want to set intention. So in our intention today, just like we always do, we will set an intention for being kind to ourselves. If we haven't practiced in a while, if we've been doing something the last day or so that's been a little bit more intense for our bodies, if we do poses today that feel a little overwhelming, we'll be kind. And as we set that intention into our practice today, we're connected here in support with one another. And that helps so very much. And we allow the support of our chair as we sit and stand, using it to be part of our team of support. And with all that intention set, let your head start to come down and toward your lap. And start to blink your eyes open as your head is down towards your lap. And then let's draw the chin down towards the chest best you can. We're going to stretch right in the back of our neck. And while your chin is towards your chest, your eyes are open. I want you to start rolling your shoulders. And every time you roll your shoulders, your chin is drawing a little closer to your chest. Just kind of notice that. And then pause for one moment, let the shoulder blades draw down your back. Maybe you notice a little clicking when you're rolling your shoulders. I know in my one shoulder, I hear that sound, and that's my more dominant shoulder. So it's always there a little bit. And then start to roll your shoulders in the opposite direction. Just notice that. And then let your head start to lift up. And as your head lifts up, take your arms out to the side, cactus, lean into your chair. Let your body lean back, feel the lengthening between your shoulders, your collarbones, but make sure you drop the shoulders down a little bit. So your elbows might be down towards the floor just slightly. And then I want you to look over towards the right side. Notice what your neck is doing with your head elevated, then drop your chin down towards the right, any amount I can. Tight, tight, tight maybe, or feeling okay. Lift your head up. Let your head look on over here towards the left. It's making a big difference with your elbows out and your shoulders back. Drop your chin down to the left any amount you can. Breathe. Then come back to center with your head. Take your arms down, roll your shoulders, shake out your arms. Now, let's do the same thing. Take your head over to the right. Drop your chin down. You might notice that there's not as much intensity here because we don't have our arms back. Because the muscles in the chest and the back are connected to the neck muscles. So here we're kind of keeping them a little more passive, but we're stretching left side neck. So breathing. Let your head come back up to neutral. Bring it over to the left side. Let your head drop down towards the left. Right side neck is probably feeling this. And then let your head come back to neutral. We're going to do our little massage that we do sometimes. So you're going to take these thumbs of yours, take them to the back of your head, into that, this little soft spot right here underneath, right there where that soft spot is. And I want you to massage. Don't come in close towards the center because that's a little too close to the vertebra at the spine there. And then come over to the back of your ears. You might notice that there's a dip there as you come behind your ears. That's your mastoid bone. There's a big muscle that attaches to that mastoid bone, and it's attached to the back of your head and it attaches to your clavicle. So we're going to do a little stretch with that this morning. We've done that before, but today we're going to do it again. So just massage. And then when you release that massage, take your head and then let's do a little no, a little yes. And then we're going to get into that muscle here. So I'll invite you to do this on your skin if you can. You want to take your left hand to your right collarbone. So your collarbone right here, find your collarbone. And then take your right hand on top. And I want you to pull down. It's probably going to feel a little pinchy and a little tight. So don't do it too much. But I am creating a lot of tension here. And then you're going to look over towards the left best you can. What you're doing is you're actually stretching that muscle that's at the back of that bone that you were massaging. It can get super tight and cranky. It's one of the only muscles that actually crosses front to back. And then drop your chin down as much as you can as you're kind of sliding your fingers down towards past your clavicle into the pectoral muscles. And then release, let your head come up. Release your hand and do a little no again. And see if it feels a little less intense. We're going to do the same thing to this side. So I take your right fingers to your clavicle, find your clavicle bone. That's that bone right here, attaches to your shoulder. We're going to take the fingers on top of the left fingers. You're going to pull down. I'm pulling down for sure, and I'm feeling a little bit of that tension here. And then we want to look over to the right and then drop the chin down any amount we can as you're kind of sliding. When I get super close, I'm sliding easy my fingers down. Super easy. And my chin is over towards the right. All the way down, almost right to there. And then release that. Roll your shoulders and then let your head go side to side. And yes and no, no, yes. And then roll your shoulders and then shake it out and just kind of notice, does it feel a little relief? And then I'm going to come on and sit back here to get us moving a little bit differently. All right. So let's continue moving through the shoulders. So let your feet be as comfortable as they need to be for you. And we'll just start moving and bring your elbows out and then bring them in. This time when you bring your elbows out, I want you to look over towards the right. Bring your elbows in. And this time look over towards the left. Bring your elbows in. When you go out, look over to the right. You get the idea. We're just going to do this a couple times, because then we're going to change it up a little bit. So we're just moving, letting the elbows go back as far as feels comfortable for you. Beautiful. Next time you come to center, bring your arms together, let your arms come down, shake them out. Now we're going to do something a little different. Take the arms up, palms come together, let your elbows be wherever they are, and then we're going to take the arms over towards the right, and you're going to look over your left shoulder. And then we're going to come back to center, torso, arms going left, your head's going right. And so that's the movement, taking it at your own pace, taking it at your own twist. Maybe your twist is got a lot of range to it because your body has a lot of range of motion, but we're just going opposite with the head and shoulders and arms and torso. Beautiful. The next time that we come over with the head to the left, I want you to take your hands down, release them, and just take them to the outside of your right thigh, wherever they land. And then lift your hands up, let them come back to center. Take your arms over towards the left, and now your head to the right. Take your hands down, release there, looking over your right. See if you can be aware of the back shoulder there, that left shoulder, see if you can soften it down. Sometimes when we do this, our shoulders want to sneak back up around our ears. Beautiful. Release that. Just come forward. Shake it all out. And then let's just swing the arms. Swing them up. Now for you, swinging up might be a lot. You might want to bend elbows. Or you want to add and you want to bend and then lift. Kind of seeing how that feels for you when you're bending, lifting, whatever you want to do. If you want to add, I just want you to get your arms lifting. You're going to get the heart rate going where you're just, you know what, we're just lifting this way right now. Getting all that energy moving and flowing upward. You can kind of feel it. It's like, woof, going up, going up. Beautiful. And then bring your arms down, shake it out. Now we're going to do the opposite leg. So you're going to lift left arm, right leg, and then back and forth. So now we're going to get the legs and the arms going. So this is going to really get the heart rate moving. And we're going to go. Now, if you feel like you want to sit back a little farther, you can. That's going to create a little bit more in your core. But if you're sitting straight up, you're still getting into the core. But if you're leaning back, that's really creating a lot more of that core engagement. And you're just moving, 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 moving. This time with left leg, right leg and left knee, left arm up, pause, and then reverse and go to the opposite and just pause. And then bring it down. Come on, sit up, shake it out. And then let's pause for a second. Notice your breath. I was talking through that. So my heart rate is up and my breath is moving pretty quickly. And breathe. Awesome. So let's do some side work here. So I want you to take your right hand to your right side chair. And I want you to take your left arm and I want you to reach it up really high. Lengthen up, really reach, and then bring it down and then lean and try and feel if you can. We're kind of imagining that we're grabbing something now with the shoulder. because now we're getting in over here. And then we're going to bring this left arm up again. We're going to reach as high as you can, bringing that shoulder up around the ear. And then you're going to release it and leaning. So we're doing the opposite shoulders while we're doing this. And then come on up one more time. Reach up, reach, getting into the whole side left body. And then coming down and reaching. And then come on up. Shake out that shoulder and kind of notice just what is feeling here in this side as opposed to here, even though we did a little lean. And then take your left hand to this chair, side chair, reach up, and when you're really reaching, even pressing into your heels, lengthen, and then release. And you're leaning over slightly. You're holding onto the chair, creating a little resistance. And then one more time, well, two more times. You're gonna reach up, and then release, and then lean over like you're trying to grab something on the floor. And then this last time, reaching, lengthening. Might notice it in a whole side body. And then lean over and try and grab there. Beautiful. And then come on up, shake it out a little bit, kind of notice shoulders. Lift up your arms now, interlace your fingers, turn your palms away, press up, lift up, come forward. Keep pressing, and then release. Let your head come and look towards the floor. Roll your shoulders. Bring your arms out again, turn your palms, press, lift all the way up, release. Roll your shoulders. I'm going to do that a couple more times. We're going to lift up, press, and you're lifting and lengthening from both sides of your body. Your heels might be pressing in, toes might be lifting. Lengthen, come forward, pressing your arms forward, and then release. Let your arms come in, shoulders draw down your back, gaze towards the floor, breathe. The arms come out in front, interlace, press, lift, lengthen, bring your arms down, roll your shoulders. Let's do that one more time. Lift up, press up and lengthen. You're really lengthening. I have my heels pressed in, toes lifted, coming forward, lengthening, reaching out, and then releasing, letting the shoulders draw down the back, gaze towards the floor. Breathe. Arms come out to end this one, pressing, lifting, lengthening, and then release. Shake it out a little bit, tap it out a little bit, roll your shoulders. Kind of notice how the upper body's feeling now. You might feel a little taller than you did when we started. Let your feet be a little wider. We're going to take the right arm out to the side, left arm out to the side, and we're going to do this movement. I'm going to turn my torso slightly, over towards the right, touch wherever I can to this right hand. And then as I stretch it out, lengthening, and then we'll just continue to do this. So while I'm doing this, my arms are coming back as far as feels comfortable when I open and expand, and then drawing it in, and then doing side to side, side to side. So we're getting some external rotation as we open, and then internal rotation of that shoulder as we draw over. Internal rotation, external. Beautiful. I'm just moving back and forth. Let's do one more from that right hand to the left and one more left hand to the right. Release and pause. Send your wrist towards the back, fingers towards the back of the room. Wiggle your fingers. Then turn your palms, lift your arms all the way up. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Let your elbows rest on your knees, gaze towards the floor, roll your shoulders or move your shoulders side to side. Your arms are probably like, what is happening right now? Just pause. And then come on up, hands to knees, press up, let that help you come all the way up and just kind of notice your whole upper body's like probably really charged up. So we're going to take this down to the low body. So let's get that right knee in and roll out through your ankle. And then let it go in the opposite direction. And then we'll do this part where we pump the low leg. holding the leg up. Now yours might be way up high, or you might be doing this right here. Does not matter where it is. I just want that low leg really moving, the knee moving, getting into all the muscles around the kneecap. Again, if you have some projects there, right, you want it, your knee might be going like this. So you kind of have to find what works for you there. And then let that go. And then let's let the leg go out in front. Bring it down, heel presses away, foot moves over. We'll sit up tall because we don't want to come down like this. We want to come up and lengthen and come down forward, and then start to kind of do a little massage down our leg. Sometimes this might be the only time that we do a little self-care like this. So if you can, if it feels okay, do a little massage down through your shin, up around your kneecap, up to the thigh. I'm going to offer this, and if you don't like it, please don't do it, but you could then tap a little bit too. Not everybody likes the tapping, so don't do it if you don't like it. It's just an option, but it also wakes up the legs. Beautiful. And then to end this one, you'll bring the foot back in, hands go over the knee, and you just massage around that kneecap. This is great to do if you've been traveling or if you do have some knee projects. This comes from a physical therapist, this whole movement we just did. So it's really great. I learned it in my training. And then tap that out a little bit. And then let's pause and notice, how does right leg feel as opposed to left leg right now? Probably feels a lot more energized. So let's move on over to left and do the same thing. And just be mindful. What does this side feel like for you? Curiosity, right? I love that word. I use it all the time. What does this leg feel like for you? Can that leg be up really high as you pump? Or is it just right here? Check it out. Notice how it's feeling. Just notice. And then let's let that leg go out in front, bring it down, move that leg over. We're going to get tall, lean over, nice long spine, and then doing that massage a little bit, up and down. Sometimes this is where we find, oh, I didn't know that was a little tight there as I'm coming up with my hands. Or you just notice different things about your leg. And then again, if you like the tapping, go ahead and do that. Again, it's just kind of, sometimes if you ever get a massage and they do this. Beautiful, bring that foot in, take your hand to your knee and let's massage around. And then go in the opposite direction. Fantastic, and then let's tap the legs out. Beautiful, bring that right knee in again and let's make some big circles with that knee. You might want to scoot over to the side a little bit, gives you a little bit more space under the leg. Just let the knee go in a circle. Maybe you're holding it, maybe you're not. And then go in the opposite direction. And then bring that leg down, shake it out a little bit, let it go in and out. Internally rotating, externally rotating, internally rotating, external, internal, external. Beautiful. And then kind of sit up. That one feels pretty good. Scoot over to the left and let's get this one going. So we got left knee going, moving, moving, moving. And just kind of check it out. How's your thigh feel? Maybe your leg is doing this because that's where you are. That's fine. Again, the beauty of practicing at home is you might even be sitting on the couch watching me. My niece, who practices with us sometimes, she says that she's done that before. I said, well, that's what you got to do. She goes, I just like to hear your voice. So I thought that was funny, but let your leg go in whatever direction, and then that internal, external, internal, external, internal, external, bring it back. And let's sit for a moment and find our breath. Take a deep breath, find your sitting mountain pose or just our sitting pose, and just notice how you're feeling. We've been moving for about 25 minutes, so just notice how that feels in your body. All right, and then we're gonna take a little bit of wide knee here, as wide as feels comfortable for you. Sitting up tall, maybe you take your hands to that hip crease, right where the upper leg comes into the hip there. Press down and then slide your hands down. You might feel a little taller. And I want you to kind of bend this right elbow and start to lean over towards that right thigh with length. See what's happening here? I'm not going like this. I'm coming over with length. Left shoulder is going to draw back, and I'm going to lift that left arm up as much as I can, and then maybe take my fingers to my shoulder or leave it up here. If it's too much, I'm going to take it around and bring it to my sacrum. So what we're feeling here is between the collarbones expanding, and they're looking towards the left. They're just facing left, and you're breathing. We're being mindful of we're not scrunching into right side waist. There's length on left side here. One more breath. And then to come up easy, take your head back towards neutral. Take your right hand to that leg and press up. Walk your feet back in and just check out how that feels for a moment. Notice this side might feel really expansive, or you might notice more spaciousness around it. Just be curious. All right, let's take the feet out again as wide as feels comfortable for you. We want to take our hands to the hip crease, press in, lengthen up, maybe even draw the thighs down a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall, we have all this length. I'm just going to start to turn towards the right, taking that left forearm down, palm is facing up, because that's giving that a little external rotation. It's a little easier to turn. And then turning the shoulders as far as you can towards the right, then lifting that right arm up. Any amount it can. You should feel some stretch here in the whole side body. If the arm is too heavy, take it down and bring it to your sacrum. And we'll breathe here for about 2 or 3 breaths. Breathing, noticing the side waist, noticing anything going on in your hips. And then nice and easy, start to come back, start to turn forward. Take that left hand to press up, come back and kind of notice now you're sitting. We're going to take a fold now. So go ahead and lift up, reach up. Let's lengthen up. I want to feel that length of your side body coming, lengthening, and then come forward. Elbows rest on knees. If it's too wide, move your feet in a little bit. If you're staying here, that's great. Remembering if you have untreated high blood pressure, vertigo, eye pressure, or anything going on that your head shouldn't come below your heart, stay here. If that's not a thing, then on your exhale, you'll come down, let your head be heavy. Your head could be looking at the mat, or your gaze could be looking at the rungs of the chair behind. Your hands could be on the floor or on your feet, wherever they need to be if you're low down. And if you're here, you can just pause, breathe. And then we'll come up in one more breath, one more big breath. Maybe we want to exhale it out, big sigh. And then come halfway wherever you were. You want to come up easy. You don't want to even if you're good with your head down, you don't want to feel lightheaded when you come up. So come halfway and then come on up nice and easily. Bring your feet together. Pause for a moment before we come to standing. Check out how you're feeling. And then let's come on up, jump up out of your chair, whatever you want to do, however you want to come up to standing. Just gonna fix my mat here. I probably should have 2 mats there. It'll make life a little easier for me. All right. Okay, you can see me. All right, so have your chair wherever it feels comfortable, and let's shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. It feels weird. I have, loose pants on today, and it feels really interesting to practice yoga in these loose pants. Haven't worn them in a long time. And then just shake it out. And then let's start our movement back and forth. Yeah, so if you know that you can stand without that chair, great. Or it doesn't matter, even if you can. Maybe you just want to hold on to it because it'll feel good. Check it out how it feels. Nice to know that there's some support around. Excellent. And then let's shake out. Pause for a moment. Let's find a standing mountain pose before we do a lot more movement. So looking down at your feet, getting in as comfortable as they can be for you. Maybe bending knees and then pressing up. Palms can face forward or toward your thighs. Shoulders up around your ears for a moment. Draw them down, shoulder blades coming together. Feeling that expansiveness through the chest. If your chin is way out, can you check it in? Standing up nice and tall. Standing mountain pose, noticing how your body's feeling, being curious. Excellent. All right, so what we're going to do first today is we're going to do a few rounds of our sun salutation standing using the chair as our support of make sure we're holding on to it. So if you haven't done this before, we'll do it nice and easy. All right, so we're going to stand with our hands on the chair or just near the chair. You're going to lift up your arms, reach up, and then you'll bring them down. You'll step back. You'll come up with the right leg and raise the left arm. You'll bring the arm down, you'll step back. And then you'll completely step back up, lift the arms, and then bring the hands down in front of the heart. We'll do it again. Lift up, and then arms come down, step back. This time, left foot comes forward, right leg goes up. Right arm goes up, and then step back. And then come on all the way up, reach up, and then arms come all the way down. I'm going to turn and do it just so you can kind of follow along from me doing it this way. So I'm very close to my chair. I'm going to lift the arms up. You can lift the arms this way if you're used to it. I just couldn't do it over there because of the window. You can lift up, come down, step back. Right foot forward, left arm up. Arm down, leg back. Step all the way back up, arms come up, comes down. Reach up, come down, step back. Left leg forward, right arm up. Come back, step up, arms up, arms down. Let's do 2 more. 1 or no more. Step back, right leg and left arm. Bring it back, step up, arms up, bring it down. 1 up, step back, left leg, right arm, bring it back. And we're going to do 1 more if you're with me. If you're not, that's perfectly fine. I get it. It's a lot. We'll lift up. If you're following, if you're not, you're pausing and being kind to yourself. Right leg's coming, left arm up. Step back, step up, arms up, down, and then last time to the one other side. Step back, left leg, right arm, back, and then step up. Woo! Bring it down and let's pause. Put your hands on your chair. Let's find a pause for a moment. Let your heart rate come down. I think we did 5 sun salutations. That's fantastic. Those sun salutations wake up every muscle in your body. They use all the muscles in your body. Just be kind for a moment. Let your breath come back to rhythm. If you need to sit, please do. All right, and then let's come down to a downward dog. Let's walk it back. Shift your hips side to side as you come back. Once you get back there, bending deeply into one knee and the other, straightening out the other, bending, straightening, bending, straightening. And then when you're done there, just let your hips go to the back, lengthening out. Breathe. And then from here, you can lift up slightly if you want. I want you to take the left arm out to the side and then bring the left hand in and draw it across and over to your right knee. And then look under your right shoulder or under your right arm. And then release that, come back. Take that right arm out to the side. Bring it under, take your hand over to the left side knee, and then look under your shoulder. A little standing twist. And then bring your hands back up, bend your knees, and then come on up to standing. And then let's shake it out a little bit. Let's just kind of stand and shake out whatever needs to be shook out here. Shake it out a little bit. Beautiful. All right. How are we doing? Everybody okay? Those sun salutations were a lot today, right? Okay. Let's pause. And then let's take the right foot forward. I want you to have your chair for this, but we are going to do a little bit of something with this leg. We're going to do a little balancing. So that right foot's forward, and this is what I want you to do. Steady as she goes, okay? We're going to come up and we're going to lift up left knee and left arm and then come back. Nice and slow and easy. If you want to try it without the right hand, that's great. You can do this if that's what you want to do. But that chair is there for support. This is about balance and movement and easefulness. I'm not going super fast. Seeing how that feels. We'll do 2 more. And then this is our last one. When you come up this time, can you pause? I got my hand on my chair. And then let that come down and then shake out that right leg. That's the one that was doing most of that work. So shake it out and maybe let it swing a little bit. Nice job, everybody. Kind of notice that it's Wednesday fun day. All right, I'm going to move the chair over here because I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. So I want to have it near me. So we're going to come, let that left foot come forward a little bit. And then you get the idea. Nice and slow and steady. Arm up, and then we'll step back. Arm up, leg up, step back. Arm up, step back. And then if you want to try it once you get into rhythm, sometimes that's a little easier once you get the momentum going to release that hand. Just be careful. You don't want to fall. And maybe you do every other one. Let's do 2 more. That's what I was finding was feeling okay. And then this is that last one. And then if you're there, can you just hold for a breath or no breaths? And then let that right leg come down and shake it out. Okay, so that was a lot on our back. So let's take a wide fold, wide-footed fold. So your chair could be in front or you can have it to the side. Step your feet as wide as you need. You'll probably send those hips towards the back and then your hands come down to your chair or wherever. If you know that you can bring your head down below, you can come all the way down to the floor if that feels okay. But you've got so many options, high, medium, low, and then when you get there, shift side to side. I'm going to keep my hands on the chair right here in the lower spot on the seat and just moving back and forth a little bit. Inner thigh awareness here. Beautiful. Pausing. Then let yourself come up. If you're way down on the floor, please bend your knees to come up. Even if you're halfway, just start to press in. Your knees are bent, you're coming up to standing, and then bring it back to center and shake it out a little bit. Beautiful. And then we'll take some movement or awareness of goddess pose, or it's called Kali Asana. So we'll want to take our feet as wide as feels comfortable for you, toes pointed out. because the knees are going to go out to the side. So if our toes were this way, the knees would be going forward. And the point of this is more external rotation, but feeling supported. So get your feet as far as feels okay. Then we'll just do it with the legs first, then we'll add hands in a moment. So the idea is just to bend and then come back up. So if your feet are too wide, you might want to bring them in again. And remember, if you have some knee projects, you might be just going like this, right? If you're coming down this far, being kind, have your hand on the chair. This is a lot, but strengthening in our legs. Strengthening in our legs. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. And then come up, bring the legs back together again, because we're going to come in and do that again. We're going to add arms, but I want you to shake it out a little bit. Sometimes it's just nice to have a little relief. So pause for a moment. Notice how you're feeling. Beautiful. And then we'll take that stance again. Maybe you're like, I'm going to do a little shorter stance this time. All right, have the chair in front of you or to the side, doesn't matter. Bend into the knees. This time, let's take either you have both arms up or just the left elbow or the left arm up. And then we're going to take this movement. We're going to take the bend out and bring the arm in the front. And then back and forward. So if you're doing both arms, it's this and this. This and this. If you've got one hand on the chair, it's this and this. Just adding the arms just, I think, takes our focus off the legs. We'll just do a couple more. All right, on this next one, if we can, when we come down, can you just turn the torso to the right just a little bit? If your arms are up with both, there you are, turning. Coming back to center and turn torso towards the left. Then come back to center, take the bend out, arms all the way out to the side. Take a big deep inhale. Exhale, arms come down. Shake it out. That was 5-pointed star. And as we found out many years ago in practice, your head would have been the point there as you were way out like this. All right, let's take a walk down into our downward dog. And when you're going, remember, just shift those hips side to side. It feels really good down the side of the legs. Shifting hips side to side, coming down, lengthening, breathing. One more breath in your dog. And start to walk up. Come up. We're going to do one more thing, and then we'll come into a balance pose that we're going to do today. So we're going to get ready and set up for this balance pose. We'll start it this way. I want you to be in front of your chair. Sometimes it's just easier to see me this way, so that's why I stand this way. So you're going to have your feet a little farther away from the chair, maybe about a foot. Your right arm's going to come up, your left leg's going to go back. And then we're going to just lift, lift, lift. So my right arm and my left leg are lifting. Whoop. Almost kicked my plant over. One more time, and then bring it all in. Shake it out a little bit and just kind of notice how that feels. That's a lot here, so I want you to notice how that's feeling in your back. Then hands to the chair. Right foot comes back, left arm goes up, and then it's just a little lift, 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 lift. One more. And then release, shake it out. Beautiful. All right, so this is the pose. We're going to come into warrior one. We're all ready to do it. So taking your hands, and then you're going to get steady on that right leg. Walk the left leg back. steady. Take that right arm out in front and then lift off right leg. Raise the left leg any amount you can. I'm going to move up because I'm going to kick that plant over. Any amount you can, you could be right here. You're just gazing forward. If you know that you can hinge a little bit more, there you are. There's your warrior three pose. Beautiful. Pausing, noticing how that's feeling. Maybe the toes are down towards the floor. Or maybe you're just like this. And maybe it's way past effort and you need to come down now. And then shake it out when you get there. So we want to remind ourselves, right? When we do balancing poses or poses in general, the part of yoga that's really important is that it's about the balance of effort and ease. When you go into too much effort and you fall out of ease, then you're just not being kind to yourself anymore. All right, so left foot's going to come forward now. And the hands on the chair, left arm can go out first, and then we're going to lift off and raise the right leg. Now, for on this side, you might just notice, you know what? Leg is right here and I'm leaning out. It's just about balance. But maybe if there's a lean that you can create. And when you get here, again, if there's too much effort here and you're feeling unstable, that's not being kind. So we need to move out of it to where we can find some ease and pause for one breath, or you're completely out of it now because you're being super kind. And then let's move out all together. Shake out the legs. And let's take one more downward dog before we come to sitting. It's going to feel really nice to kind of get some length here in the back. So as you walk back, lengthen, send the hips to the back of the room. Breathing, take a deep breath, maybe big exhale. Pause for one more breath. And then come on up, maybe bend your knees, come to standing, and we'll make our way down to our chair. Yeah. Come on down. Oh, I don't want you to sit back on your chair. This isn't something we've done yet today, so sit way back on your chair, let your knees go out to the side. And let that chair hold you for a moment, knees are out to the side. And then lift up your arms, reach up. Take an inhale, lengthen, and then come forward. Your whole seat on the chair. Let your elbows come, or maybe they're just resting on your chair. And just come down and gaze towards the floor. If you wanted to, you could come into a full fold. It's just going to feel really different here because your legs are really supported, or you're just resting. Let's just rest. And if you are on the floor, please come up halfway and then press all the way up. Move your legs back around to the front. Come to the front of your chair. Come back up to sitting forward, just so that you can feel your sitting bones on the chair. And then let's take the right knee in and hug it in as far as it will come towards your body. Could be right out here. That's perfect, wherever it is. And if you want, maybe we draw the forehead down towards the knee. And then let's just shift the knee side to side. Excellent. And then let's give it some momentum. And then we can grab that ankle, bring it all on up to your left knee if that's where you're heading, or a pigeon pose. And once you get here, you want to get yourself really situated. Maybe that left foot wants to walk out farther. Or maybe this isn't where it is and your foot's on the floor. Find your way. And as you sit up nice and tall, let's bring our hand to our right knee today. And let's just create a little resistance for a breath or two. So I want you to take your hand, take an inhale. And as you exhale, press your hand into your knee and try and lift your knee forward. You're going to feel that in your leg, in your hip possibly. And then release, soften that. And just let your hand release. Very active there. Sit up nice and tall. Feel the length of your spine. On your next exhale, keeping that length, come forward to the edge of the sensation in the back of your leg, or wherever you're feeling it. And then from there, let's get passive here. Nothing to do now, just to soften. Just softening. We'll be in the pose for about 7 breaths. See if you can, in your 7 breaths, just allow your body to soften. And then we're going to start to move up. As easeful as you went in, we'll come up. We do this every class, so if it's feeling like you want to draw that right knee over left, great. But look what happens if you don't draw that left foot in. We kind of wanted to come in to get evened out a little bit, and then sitting up tall again, little bit of activity, twisting over here to the right. And then once you get into your twist, release your shoulders. This is not about trying. We're just here in the pose. And then release, come on around, shake it out. And then take that left knee up as far as it will go. Maybe for some, it's all the way up here towards your left shoulder, or for you, it might be right here. And then let your forehead come down towards the knee, any amount. And then release up, and then let's let that knee go out into the side. Again, your knee might be right here. Doesn't matter. Mine just happened to be up there today. And then with that momentum, let's get that ankle up on there. If it's too much effort, you know your foot's on the floor. That's where it is. And then sitting up nice and tall, finding your way. Maybe that right foot needs to come out. Get in your pose. We've made this our pose for sure at the end of our practice. This is our consistent pose we always do. And then sitting up tall. Let's do that resistance here. Press into your knee with your hand and then resist your knee coming forward. Resist a little bit and then release. And then that nice length of spine come forward. And that might be where you are, right there. And then let yourself just settle. Being curious about this side. 5 more breaths. And then start to come up. So you know, if you're taking left knee over, left ankle is crossing. Let that happen. Move the right foot in to just create that balance. And then sitting up and then taking the twist over towards the left. And then come on back around, shake it out a little bit, and then we'll come in to do our Savasana. So I invite that however it feels good. If you want to lay down, great. If you don't, that's fantastic too. We come and sit on our seat. I'm going to put the blanket there for my feet. And we'll come in and find our Savasana today. Let's take a big deep inhale. Exhale. We made it through our class. Nice job, everybody. And then let's let our awareness drift down towards your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Notice the tops of your feet. Notice your toes. Wiggle your toes a little bit and then release and let your toes and your feet soften. Let them be heavy. Move up through your shins and through your calves. Come up to your knees in the front and back. The next time you exhale, see if you can think about the sensation of the exhale dropping down from your knees to your feet. Let your whole low legs be heavy. Maybe even notice that your knees move away from each other a little bit. Come up through your upper legs, your thighs in the front there, and the hamstrings in the back. Quads in the front, your hamstrings in the back. Noticing your hip crease in the front, your hips in the front, your hips in the back, your glute muscles, the whole pelvic area. On your next exhale, see if you can release there. Let the chair really hold you. Maybe you even soften through the belly. Get heavy in your low body. Chair's holding you. Draw awareness up through your abdomen and your small of your back. Noticing your ribs in the front of your body, the ribs in the back of your body, the center of your chest, the center of your back, your shoulder blades, the front, your collarbones, tops of your shoulders. The next time you exhale, see if the exhale sensation can travel down your arms, arriving at your fingertips, and go ahead and do that again. Exhale, traveling down your arms, let your arms get heavy. Coming to the base of your throat, back of your neck, face, your cheeks, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead, crown of your head, back of your head, your ears. On your next exhale, see if you can let the sensation of exhale draw down from head all the way to feet. Let your chair hold you. Staying here in this breath awareness of just the chair holding you. Your body breathing, the chair holding you. And then start to deepen your breathing. And drawing focus just towards your left foot. And let your left leg move a little bit, and then let your left ankle just roll, wiggling your toes a little bit. And soften that, and then let your right foot come out a little, and just let your right ankle roll. And then release. Take your hands off your legs, let your hands come down, roll through your wrists. Shake and wiggle your fingers a little bit. And then turn your palms up, let your arms go out to the side, lift up, take a big deep inhale. And then as you exhale, palms come together, and then maybe they land at the center of your heart and they stay there because that's what's comfortable, or you release and let your hands soften over your heart space, or they come down to your lap. Find what works for you. And then let's gather gratitude for ourselves for coming to practice today. Gratitude to our bodies on our journey that they've traveled with us. And gratitude to one another in our support here of practice. And then shining that light of kindness inside of us, lighting it up with light and kindness. That inner light that shines in us, and knowing that it's fully served by sending it outwards. Use that beautiful word of yoga, namaste, meaning the light in me. Thousand honors the light in you. Namaste, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me in practice today. Hopefully you're all feeling a little bit more